Hi everyone, I'm going to be doing obviously a tag video, and this has to be one of the most belated tag videos I've ever done, but this was given to me by Schmeggyroo. Thank you so much for tagging me, Megs. I'll put a link down below to her channel, and I apologise for it taking so long. So I am going to be doing a whole run of tags just to get through all those, but this one's actually quite an exciting one because I think it gives a little bit of, I suppose, backstory. It's the my makeup tag story, and there's 10 questions which I'll put down below, and I'll be reading through them, but I'll get straight to it. So I'll start off with the first one, which is how old were you when you started wearing makeup? I didn't really start to wear makeup until I think it was maybe in college, a little bit of lipstick when I was going out to something, but apart from that, nothing. When I hit about 18, the only makeup, and I'm so ashamed to say, the only makeup that I wore was, I think, some really horrid orange lipstick. I think was one of my mum's old ones. Didn't suit me whatsoever, and I actually had quite thick eyebrows. This is pre-plucking days, and because I wore quite large rim glasses when they were sort of in, I tried to emphasize, this is when I didn't know anything about makeup, I tried to emphasize my eye area by making my eyebrows darker and thicker looking. I don't know what I was thinking. I honestly didn't read this anywhere. I just sort of assumed this would work because you couldn't really see my eyebrows behind my thick, dark, blue rimmed glasses, and these are the round ones. But so that's what I did, and I look back at some of the pictures, and the way I actually emphasized them, instead of sort of filling in sort of down here or the patches, because I didn't really know what I was doing, I tried to emphasize the actual point. So I've actually got sort of quite dark, pointy sort of brows. They're even worse than they are now, if that's possible, but yeah, it was actually quite comical. I eventually learned to stop doing that. I didn't even pluck my eyebrows until I was in my early 20s. I think I was about 20 when I first started to sort of pluck. I started wearing mascara and liner around about, I think, 21. I finally started to wear makeup. I didn't wear foundation. I couldn't be bothered with it. Didn't know how to match my shade. So I just wore mascara and liquid eyeliner for many years, maybe the odd bit of lipstick, but it wasn't probably until my mid-20s, maybe about 24, 25, that I started to actually wear foundation, and it was just, I just had sort of one compact. I wasn't into any shades or brands. I sort of knew CoverGirl and L'Oreal. I think L'Oreal was my favourite. Didn't know much else about makeup, didn't know anything about primers. I sort of credit YouTube to showing me about primers and all that sort of stuff. So I didn't actually wear eyeshadows until my 30s because I didn't know how to keep them on my oily lids. That's pretty much, that's the next one. How did you get into makeup? So getting into makeup at the stage that I am now is definitely due to YouTube. I mean, when I first started wearing maybe mascara and eyeliner was only when I sort of was in my second year. No, probably about my second or third year of university, I sort of started to play around with it. So that sort of got me onto that, because I thought with freckles and moles there was no point trying to sort of wear anything to sort of cover that. But I've slowly learned sort of techniques over the years, and that's mainly due to YouTube. Like I said, I didn't really get into lots and lots of makeup or the scale that I am now until YouTube. I credit that to YouTube, where my husband probably blames YouTube. Got into it just by pure coincidence. I was looking up something, I don't even know what it was, on YouTube, and I think I found Panchia's 88 channel or something like that, doing tutorials, and then it opened up a whole world of seeing other ones. Then I obviously saw other makeup collection videos, learned about other brands and stuff, and then got into tutorials and techniques. But number 3, what are some of your favourite brands? Some of my favourite brands now have to be a whole range, a lot of cheap ones and some high-end. Probably my cheap favourite Australian brands would be Ulta 3, Face of Australia, Australis, Cheaty. Some of my, I suppose, higher-end international brands are like MAC, but I do find them just way too expensive in Australia. Laura Mercier, way too expensive in Australia, so I normally get them from overseas. The whole range, and of course just the standard drugstore makeup like Revlon, L'Oreal, CoverGirl, Max Factor, which I sort of grew up watching my mum use. Well, she mainly used the Estee Lauder, Max Factor and Elizabeth Arden, and that's the ones I sort of played around with in my, I suppose, mid-20s, but I really just stuck to cover girl in L'Oreal for years until I started watching YouTube. Number 4, what does makeup mean to you? I mean, obviously for me, I purely like to use it on my face as I suppose, to improve how I look, and to sort of cover blemishes, etc. For me, it is a lot to do with confidence. I know beauty, etc. should start from the inside, but for many years I was quite a shy, meek, I suppose ugly duckling, tomboyish girl. My mother didn't encourage me to grow my hair. She liked to cut it very boy short. She didn't encourage me to sort of dress up girly look, but to me, I was very tomboyish growing up until I went to sort of college, university. So for me, it's a lot to do with me sort of feeling and looking like a woman now. I like to play around with different colours, purely as a hobby. Now I sort of am trying to make mineral makeup, etc. Again, as a hobby. I'm not sure what will do with it. If I would do it professionally, probably not, just for financial reasons. But I do love the whole sort of how to make makeup, what it sort of can do for your skin, also skincare to help improve blemishes, etc. I love all that side, and I also really am into reviewing products or reviewing makeup, cosmetics and skincare. So it's a whole sort of hobby, fun / confidence thing for me as well. But I basically have makeup to use. That's really what I want to do. I want to use the makeup, not hoard it. What are I next? Number 5, if you could only wear 4 products on your face, what would they be? Oh, that's so cool. But I suppose 2 of them would be what I used to basically wear when I really... But yeah, definitely liquid eyeliner and mascara. Although technically when I run out of liquid eyeliner, I have used mascara. You just get a bit of a Q-tip and you can actually use that to as your liquid eyeliner. I only use it on the top of my lid, so okay, I'll use mascara then. I can use that as my liquid eyeliner. I'd probably have to go for a tinted moisturizer with SPF, so I'd be getting I suppose a little bit of a tint or shade to my face. I don't like heavy coverage makeup or foundation, so I could get away with just a tinted moisturizer with the SPF, so that's my sunscreen and my colour. Thirdly, would have to be a lip gloss, very moisturising lip gloss. I like lipsticks, but sometimes they do dry my lips out if I don't have a lip balm on. So I'll go for a moisturising lip gloss. And number 5, I would, have to be a corrector or concealer, and that would be something that I'd use under my eyes and sort of around my blemishes or red spots around my face. So that would be my concealer corrector. So either a concealer or corrector. So yeah, I think that's my 4. I'm sticking to it. Question 6. What is your favourite thing about makeup? I suppose my favourite thing is that it is to improve how people look. I find it a very fun thing. I find it fun to do, fun to use. And the day that I stop finding it fun or a hassle is probably the day that I'll throw in sort of YouTube or blogs or etc. talking about makeup. But I find it fun. That's probably my most favourite thing about it. And through that, obviously through doing YouTube and finding it fun in blogs, I've met a lot of fun people. I've found friends, etc. through that as well, and learnt a lot. So yeah. Number 7, what do you think about drugstore makeup versus high-end makeup? As I mentioned before, my favourite brand, it's really not a big deal for me. Probably the main thing that bothers me though is just the price difference. Although sometimes you do definitely get what you pay for. I find that with some foundations as well. Some cheaper foundations, you definitely do get what you pay for. Some of the cheaper ones are very oily, very greasy. They're high in, I don't know, parabens, all that sort of stuff, where sometimes to pay a little bit extra to get something that maybe is made, you know where it's made, it's a trusted brand, it's vegan friendly, it's got more natural ingredients. You know, sometimes I'm happy to pay the extra buck. Number 8, what is one tip of advice you can give to a beginner? Ask someone that you trust about. For me, I probably should have gone years ago to a makeup counter, or maybe got my skin tone matched, because for years I just bought whatever I thought, swatched it on my hand. And get a good corrector and concealer before you start playing around with different foundations or shades. And that's probably the best piece of advice I could give. I didn't sort of do all that stuff, so it took me many years to discover primers and stuff like that, whereas now on YouTube, I mean, I didn't grow up with YouTube, but just to actually see that firsthand and see different brands, it sort of opened my whole world of makeup to me, and stuff that I just wasn't aware of. Probably if I'd gone earlier to maybe a counter or professional somewhere, or makeup artist, like that, I probably would have realised all that and got into a lot of that stuff sooner, and probably start out early with skincare. When I was younger, I didn't bother at all with sunscreen. I didn't bother with tinted sunscreen. I didn't bother with SPF moisturisers and all that sort of stuff. The campaign probably wasn't as big when I was younger back then. There was a slip, slop, slap, but not how it is today. But I should really invest in getting just a sunscreen for your face before you put on your makeup. So yeah, check out skincare when you're young. I probably should have started my skincare routine years ago. I go to bed with makeup on sometimes. I just wasn't aware of a lot of that sort of stuff that I am now. But yeah, definitely start with a good skincare routine. Number 9, what is one makeup trend you never understood? I don't know so much as trends. I mean, I was born in the late 70s, and I grew up in the 80s, and it was some of the wackiest makeup out there. I mean, you know, the blue eyeliner, blue eyeshadow, which is all coming back in, but there were neon colours on the face, neon colours on the nails, which is again back in. But so for me to sort of laugh at or never understand makeup trends, I don't know. I mean, I grew up with some pretty wacky makeup trends and short, spiky hair, and then I went to university and cut my hair really short after trying to grow it long for years after my mother was cutting it, and I go and get bright red paprika hair. But you know, and I must admit, I was guilty of spider lashes. Haven't been guilty of tadpole eyelashes yet, but because of my really misguided beginnings with eyebrow pencils and stuff, I can't really judge a lot of that stuff. So it's not a fact that I don't understand it, it's a fact that I've made those mistakes and have come away from it. It's not a trend, but probably the one that still amazes me is someone maybe in their later years that still has that, what's the word, you know, the orange face with a completely wrong shade for their face. And then the white neck. And I've seen makeup artists with this, which got me. I won't name where I got it, but I did get a makeover one day, and the makeup artist had not only missed their ears, that had like this sort of wrong shade for their face, or they could have gotten away with it maybe to give themselves a bronzy look, if they'd matched their ears, bothered to do the foundation on their ears and blend it into the neck as well. I mean, some days I'm guilty of that. I run out really quickly, etc. But I really don't have that much makeup on at the moment, and my skin is uneven toned anyway, but it's when it's that really obvious makeup line that you've got there, that sort of mask. And number 10, what do you think about the beauty community on YouTube? I started in the tail end of sort of it, it started years ago. I didn't start making videos until I think January 2010. I started watching YouTube videos in 2009. For me, it's been pretty much the same, although I know people have mentioned it, that it's gotten a lot more sort of hate, a lot more misunderstood. I'm not sure about all that sort of stuff. But for me, I think it's a great opportunity for people to sort of see a lot of different brands. I didn't know about Urban Decay, I didn't know about MAC Cosmetics, I didn't know about ELF, NYX, so many brands. I did not know about them because we either don't have them or didn't have them at the time in Australia. I mean, we can get them online now. I didn't even know about MAC Cosmetics, even though they are in department stores in Australia, but I just didn't go into a lot of those department stores. I didn't even look at the beauty counters because I thought it was just Estee Lauder, Elizabeth Arden, Clinique, all that sort of stuff. I just didn't even bother. I didn't even know about NARS until a few years ago, so I was very much sheltered in that way. So for me, it opened up a whole world of brands. It opened up realizing to buy online can be cheaper, eBay. It sort of opened up all those sorts of things to me, and obviously to meet friends and people. Of course, you get hate. I've had some really strange comments that I can't understand. I mean, it's normally by people that either don't have a profile picture, that don't make videos, and probably don't understand. Because when I first started watching YouTube videos, I really didn't get a lot of what was going on there, but I do now. But I do think it's still quite a positive place to be. But you really do have to be strong one sometimes to ignore some of the negative comments. But that does come with the territory as well. But yes, I do find it such a positive thing still for me. But I'm looking at the time, I can't believe I've talked so much. And thank you if you've managed to stay to the end. I thought this was going to be a really quick tag. But that's the 10 questions. Again, I'll link them down below. Please do it, the tag, if you so want, or do it on your blog. Please give me a link down below to the video, a tag response. Give me a video response, or even link down below to a favourite tag that you've seen. I'll be doing some other tags as well, but thanks again, Megs, for sticking with me. I finally got it up, and I hope you have a great new year.